What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. SoFi is having a pretty epic day. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's really driving it higher, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So it is up 3.56%, $3.30 the low, and currently $6.55 as the high. 24.03 million shares being traded, 34.9 is the average. Unfortunately, not seeing that much institutional buying, so only 4 transactions on the secondary market above $100,000, and even shorts aren't doing all that much. I'm going to talk on that in a second. So a lot of the volume being done today is linked to algorithmic trading. So AI is being told essentially to buy SoFi, that it's kind of at a good deal. A lot of analysts have started to come out today a little bit more optimistic about the later part in the week for PCE. So I think it's kind of premature to already start thinking about that. But once again, that's all the market seems to care about is interest rates being cut. And so far for the September meeting, it looks like a 61.1% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. So again, that would be absolutely huge for growth stocks and in turn SoFi as well. Today, no actual news, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines, no new analyst ratings, despite analysts seem to be fairly optimistic today, as you can kind of see. So last one was done 10 days ago, $12 price target, 𝗪𝗧𝗛, Dan, who does have a 50% success rating. So pretty good stuff when it comes down to that. But aside from that, looking at some of the options data, and actually what I'll do is I'll start off with shorts. Shorts are increasing 1.19 million shares, 17.7% of the free float is being shorted, utilization 72.34%, and then cost to borrow average is 0.98%. You do see that manipulation coming back as of this morning. So cost to borrow minimum is negative 0.2%, meaning there is a broker out there physically paying people to short SoFi. But aside from that, it is that time of season once again. So you do have ETFs and institutions disclosing their positions in SoFi. It looks like the ones that have come out so far, looks like Schwab 1000 index did increase their position in SoFi by 3.48%. Couple ETFs looks like they are shorting SoFi, 75,000 shares, didn't do anything. This one right here, Morningstar Alternative Fund, is shorting SoFi 13,000 shares, but they did return, I guess, reduce their position by 52%. So overall, that's relatively good. Not good to see all these institutions shorting, as you can kind of see, but whatever. Aside from that, we already do know SoFi is very heavily shorted and manipulated to the T. But when it comes down to additional data, starting off with options, 4.03 million in calls, 1.68 million in puts. Sentiment wise, 50% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish. And of the call options that are being purchased, you do see consensus for it to be around 650. Just to give you a quick overview of the open interest, so you do kind of see a very strong wall at that 650. And as I said in my video a couple days back, or even I think it was yesterday, or I can't remember, but beside the point, I did say that typically about a 40% increase. So it was at 11, so it's a little bit more than that. So currently 18,000 in open interest at that 650 strike price. So hopefully SoFi is able to close this upcoming Friday above 650. Then you could see a nice little bump up in the stock price as a byproduct of that. And then you do have 18,000 at that 7, and then 43 at the 750. And so once again, that is something to kind of consider. One thing that I just wanted to bring up to your attention though is looking at the true options. I know I bring this up very vaguely, but if you're looking at true options, even at that 650 strike price, looks like the last was around 14 cents. So even though right now it is trading at $6.54 and people are paying 14 cents for a 650 call, like people aren't anticipating much upside. So even though SoFi is having a pretty epic day, it looks like people are anticipating for it to kind of pull back below that 650 mark, because you should in general see at least double this amount for premium. So once again, this is why I like to analyze a lot of the data points, and because it kind of shows exactly what people are truly feeling when it comes to SoFi. And can you blame investors, right? Like, typically SoFi always has very quick spikes up and then retraces down. So once again, just kind of stay tuned to see if it does stay above that 650 or below. But right now with it at $6.54, it is trading between this S2 and this S1. So once again, I got to give it to them. They definitely did fight to kind of pull back into this range of this S2 and this S1. So $6.45 is going to be that next strong support. On the flip side, $6.69 is going to be that next strong resistance / target that you want to watch for SoFi to get above. So right now, you really just want to watch for it to kind of stay above the 645 and more specifically $6.50 in the short term. On the actual chart itself, so it is kind of gaining some pretty good momentum. So hopefully that does continue forward into the next couple trading days, because as I mentioned, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's going to be more technical driven. You have a couple of Fed speakers throughout the day as well. First thing, a Fed speaker did come out, I think it was 𝗪𝗧𝗪, and did say regardless of the political situation that is happening, monetary policy is going to continue on, and meaning, in my opinion at least, rate cuts. And so once again, as I've already said like twice in just this video, rate cuts are going to be the next big catalyst for SoFi and just growth stocks in general. But on the actual chart itself, you do start to see a nice bullish deviation on the stochastic as well. It is rather oversold. So if you do have a good piece of news specific to SoFi or the broader market, which is happening right now, then you should see a rush of value investors getting into SoFi. A number of retail investors have been getting in today. So I think all in all, pretty good data. Very exciting to show that SoFi is finally alive. Just I think a lot of people are very curious to see if SoFi is actually going to hold these gains or not. So what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.